Missoula County. We are in charge of logistics on this project. By we, I mean my colleague Eric Legvold. Also here with us today, Jim Hicks, Executive Director of Hope Rescue Mission, April Seat, Director of Outreach for Hope Rescue Mission, and Ashley Corbally with River of Life Church. Hope Rescue, River of Life, other faith community and other partners are in charge of the site management. I guess I just want to say we appreciate your interest and your being here, and to reiterate, as I said in our original news conference last week, we know that this is not, in many circles, it is not the most positive project. We have been really heartened by, however, by the number of people who have told us how much they appreciate what collectively is being done on behalf of our unhoused neighbors who have nowhere else to go other than here, or certainly no better place to go. This is a safer, healthy alternative for up to 40 of our neighbors, our friends who are without housing in this cold COVID winter. We know this is not a permanent solution. That's why we call it the temporary safe outdoor space. We continue to work on long-term solutions, on ending homelessness, by which I mean making it rare, brief, and non-recurring. That's the goal of Reaching Home, Missoula's 10-year plan to end homelessness, which many of us have been working on for quite some time. We continue to pursue the goal of appropriate, sustainable housing for our very diverse homeless population. There is no one-size-fits-all approach. There is no quick and easy solution. If there is, we would have found it by now. With that, I want to turn it over first, I think, to Eric to talk about the logistics of setting up the temporary safe outdoor space, and then Jim and April and Ashley to talk about next steps once the logistics are in place.
Hi, welcome guys. So this is the temporary safe outdoor space. It has been a work in progress, and there are a number of logistical concerns that we must take into control, at least with the health and safety of the individuals that will be living on property. One is to have it a safe, secure location for them to reside at, as well as proper sanitary, basically the porta potties. And then also Republic Services providing trash. We unfortunately did not have Republic Services drop that off today because they had their deliveries full. It will be coming in the very near future. We have built these platforms to be removable. This is a temporary approach. So basically all we need to do, if we do need to move to another location in the future, that it is to unscrew from the concrete pylons at the bottom, load everything in the back of a truck, and move it to the next.
No local provider of food or shelter or services is able to operate at full capacity during the pandemic. So social distancing means that at best they are serving half their usual clientele, just like our restaurants and stores are now being asked to serve just half at peak hours.
It's a pilot project that all of our necks are on the line in some ways, but we're willing to take the risk to help those that want to move forward, to help them move forward. And we think this is one of the first steps, the safe outdoor secure space for them.
I do want to say that there is a focus around Reserve Street encampment and those folks staying in that area to be able to transition them over here. Not that that's the only focus, but right now that seems to be the focus is Reserve Street. So we want to make sure that those folks have a safe and easy transition over here. A lot of the folks been let down a majority of their lives. So to be able to have that trust, to be able to talk to them and let them know that we want to build something that is going to completely be surrounded by what their feedback is, their opinions, and the things that we have done in surveys to see what would best fit them being able to come over here.
We've done the best that we can to make sure that there is social distancing among all of the camps and the occupants, to make sure that we are following all of the health department guidelines. We've been working very closely with the health department on multiple levels for food and for sanitation, and making sure that we're following CDC guidelines for COVID response. So we're doing the best that we can with what we've got.
There's a lot of mental illness and there is addiction, and you have the very few that just want to be out there because it suits their living needs. It what keeps them moving on and moving forward. So that's where we're at. The hardest to continue to serve them where they're at, take care of their needs, have the services on site, because we can't always get them to the appointments that need for housing or doctor's appointments or things to move forward. That now we have an area where we can serve them on site and be able to take care of their needs fully.
Those of us who lead more successful lives, it's all about relationships. It's about building trust. It's about no one-size-fits-all approach. It is like trying to break through to them and build trust so that they will learn that people do have their best interests at heart. And many of them, that's a new concept, or they've been so badly burned by family members, by things that have happened in their past, by people who said they're there to help them. And if you add substance abuse and mental illness to that mix, it can be really, really a deep challenge for a lot of people, and make them face many, many barriers.
I think there's a lot of myth about going on what homelessness looks like. They're people. They have a story, and once you figure that out, and you can reach out to me anytime, and I'd love to sit down with whoever has questions. But really, it's just about their needs, their basic needs. If they're taken care of, they're more likely to move on to the next step. But really reaching out to those providers and service providers that have worked in this area for a long time, instead of trying to go out and do things on your own, to really let's come together, because at the end of the day we are stronger together.
This is the best option, and I think that if we can work together as a community and provide this, because what is an absolute community health issue is the Reserve Street encampment. I live a quarter mile from it, and it's. I am concerned with the water quality. I am concerned with a number of other things. What I can do is work with this collaborative, and I can provide the logistics to set up the camp and be able to be a service first, homing first, health protocol first, and ensure that we are given the next step up for our community members that need it.
I'm old. I've worked on these issues for 40 years. And in my experience, most people who are experiencing homelessness want what the rest of us want. A safe place to put their head at night, meals, and the opportunity to live a healthy life. I think we have, as a society, have tended to demonize homeless people, blame them for their homelessness. And to our critics, I would say, join us.
Yeah.
We are doing something. We are not able to do everything, but we have come together, the public sector, the private sector, the faith community, businesses, to do something.
There's got to be affordable housing. There's got to be very real housing that's possible for folks. I mean, for many in Missoula too, in comparison to our average wage in Missoula, housing is very expensive. So for most individuals, whether they're homeless or not, to come up with rent, deposit, and maybe first or last month's rent is a complete barrier. There's also very real barriers for a lot of folks to find housing. Things like a criminal record, and some of it's just, people doing stupid stuff when they were younger, but it's going to stay on their permanent record. And for a lot of places, they will bar you from being able to rent from them if you have, say, a felony. And so we understand that, and so there are very real barriers. There's also things as simple as they don't have an ID, they don't have an identification. Some of them have been, they've been homeless for so long that they no longer carry their social security card or their birth certificate. So to even get an ID is necessary to find housing or to find a job or to do a lot of those things or to enroll in government services. And so being able to connect them with people that can help walk them through that process is going to be such a game changer for so many.
This is private property, so there will be no trespassing signs up. That gives us a little bit of legality if we need to trespass somebody and say that you can no longer be here because they're not cooperating or whatever. We hope that does not happen. But we've also done that so we don't have looky-loos wandering through, because this is their home, and I don't really like it when people just walk through my home. I'll probably say hi and introduce myself, but I'll ask, what are you doing here?
And I just also want to share that I know what will come up is that we're enabling folks. We're not enabling anybody. We're just giving them the tools and their basic needs that they need to move forward and succeed.
Poverello Center our way to the end of homelessness, and we try to food bank our way to the end of hunger, and we try to Habitat for Humanity our way to the end of the housing crisis. And those are all great programs, but they are not the answer. We need to be better about prevention, and we need to move from treating shelter as the solution to homelessness to focusing on housing.